Welcome to Flow. Let's get started. Today we'll start off in a kneeling position. Bring your hands to rest on your knees or your thighs. Allow your eyes to close or find a soft gaze. And take these first few moments to bring your focus and awareness to your breath. Every exhale, allow the tension in your shoulders and your neck to release. And feel the tops of your ears grow up towards the ceiling. Start to open your eyes and come into an easy neck stretch. Lift your hips, slide your right fingertips underneath your right thigh, and then tip your left ear over to your left shoulder, coming into a very gentle neck and shoulder stretch. And you can stay still here. You can find a little bit of movement through your head and your neck. Maybe even allow your mouth to open and find a little bit of movement into your jaw or even into your tongue. Just nice and easy, breathe into the stretch. And then slowly bring yourself out of this, and we'll swap hands. Lift your hips and then bring your left fingertips so they're underneath your left thigh, and then pull your right ear to your right shoulder. And again, you can stay still or you can find a bit of movement here, maybe rocking your chin forwards and backwards, and finding a nice pull all along the left side of your neck into your shoulder. Take full big breaths in and out. Maybe find a little bit of movement into your mouth or your jaw. And then slowly bring yourself out of this. Lift your hips so you can release your hand. Bring yourself into a tabletop all fours position with your shoulders over your wrists, your hips over your knees. And then from here, flip your wrists around so your fingers are pointing towards your knees, and start to draw some circles with your shoulders just to get a bit of a stretch into your wrists and your forearms. Feel free to take a little bit of a bend with your elbows in order to access the stretch. Take 3 or 4 circles in one direction and then start to move this in the opposite direction. Feel your finger pads and your thumbs push down into the mat. And then release your hands. Point your fingers back forward and start to move through cat and cow. Inhale, arch your spine, lift your gaze, and exhale, round through your spine. And we take a few more sets of this. Move with breath. Inhale, lift the gaze. And exhale, round through your spine, push into the ground. And if there's any extra move you like to pepper into this, maybe some movement through the head, the neck, or the hips, feel free to find that. Just make sure you're infusing your breath with your movement. And take one more set here and bring yourself back to neutral tabletop. And then walk your hips back to your heels. Flip your toes under to get a little bit of a stretch through the feet. Reach your arms up overhead, interlace your fingers at the base of your spine, punch your fist down, and lift your chest. Now your fist may make it down to the mat, and if it doesn't, that's okay. Just bring your fist down to your lower back. Find that same opening. And then bring your hands back down to the mat, flip your toes, downward facing dog. Take a few moments of movement in your downward facing dog, pedal through your feet. Push your chest towards your toes, spread your fingers nice and wide. Feel the broadness of your upper back. Feel the engagement through your low belly. Take a few more big breaths here. And then lift your right leg up. Step your right foot so it comes in between your hands. And then lower your back knee down with control. Reach your arms up overhead. And then bend your elbows and open through your chest. You can bring your palms together, bring your thumb to the nape of your neck. Try to pull your elbows in as close to your ears as you can. Find this nice opening to the chest. Bring both of your hands down. Flip your back toes, step your right foot back, lower all the way down onto your front. Oscillating cobra. Come onto the pads of your fingers, push yourself up into a cobra pose, and start to undulate through your spine here, just lifting and lowering. And you could take this at your own tempo, your own pace, but move your spine in this wave-like movement. And allow your head and your neck to have some movement here as well. And feel free to linger a little bit longer, go a little bit slower. One more time, and then push yourself back to downward facing dog. Other side, lift your left leg high and step your left foot so it comes between your hands. Gently lower your back knee down to the mat. Reach your arms straight forward and then lift your arms straight up overhead. Bring your palms together at the top. Bend your elbows. Bring your thumbs to the nape of your neck and lift your chest and your chin up towards the ceiling. Lie back on your hands. Open up through the heart, through the throat. Bring your hands down to frame your left foot. Step your left foot back to your plank and once again lower all the way down onto your belly. And from here we repeat that oscillating cobra. Finger pads come down to the ground and start to lift and lower through your chest and your back. Just finding this nice snake-like movement. Let it feel really loose, really free. And move at your own pace. Just make sure that you're infusing your breath. You're never holding your breath. Finding some nice range of motion into the spine. And we'll take one more here. Lower down, flip your toes, downward facing dog. Lift your right leg up into the air. Step your right foot so it comes between your hands once again. This time keep your back knee lifted and reach your arms up overhead. And then once again, palms together. Bring your thumbs to the nape of your neck and lean your body back. Now your elbows can stay a bit wider this time and you can have a bit of buoyancy in your back knee. Really think of leaning your head back into your hands. It's a little bit tricky for the balance. Bring your hands down. Find your three-legged dog, right leg up into the air. Bend your right knee. You could stay here. You could go all the way upside down into a flip dog position. Right foot comes down to the mat. You can open through the chest. Take a few moments of breath and then revolve yourself back to downward facing dog. Move to high plank and then lower your hips to an upward facing dog. So you can keep your toes slipped under or you could push to the tops of your feet, but try to keep your hips and your thighs lifted up off the ground. And then bend your knees, bring yourself back to downward facing dog. Left side, lift your left leg. Step your left foot, it comes between your hands. High crescent lunge, reach your arms up overhead. And then bring your palms together, bring them behind the nape of your neck and lean yourself back. Have a little bit of buoyancy, a little bit of a bend through your back knee. Breathe into your chest and your heart space. And then release, bring your hands down to the mat. Find your three-legged dog, left leg up into the air. Bend your left knee, open your hip. Feel free to stay right here or bring your left foot all the way down to the mat. It's a little bit of something to open the front side of your body. And also nice to open into your right side chest and finding some stability into your shoulder. Revolve back over, downward facing dog. Roll forward to high plank. Keep moving to your upward facing dog. Push down into your palms, lift the chest forwards. Bend your knees, send your hips back, downward facing dog. And then from your downward facing dog, lower your knees back down to the mat. Bring your forearms down to the ground and come into a puppy dog pose. So your hips are gonna stay really lifted here. And then walk your elbows forward, bring your palms together and try to bring your thumbs to the nape of your neck. So your hips are high up in the air. It's a puppy dog pose. So you're opening through the chest and you can also find some nice opening into the shoulders, the armpits, and the triceps. Your forehead can be on the ground. If it feels accessible, maybe you bring your chin onto the ground. That's just an option. May feel a little uncomfortable, a little restricted there. Just breathe into this space. Nice big breaths in and full big breaths out. And then slowly release your arms. Roll yourself back so you're sitting on your knees. Once again, interlace your fingers at the base of your spine. Punch the fist down. Let your fist chase the floor as you open the throat, the chin, the chest to the ceiling. And then slowly release your hands. Bring your hands back in front and find downward facing dog. Take a few moments of breath in downward facing dog, maybe feeling a little more open into the chest and the shoulders. Start to walk your feet up towards your fingers. You're in a ragdoll forward fold. Soften through your knees and slowly, slowly roll yourself up to stand. Just like that oscillating cobra, think of moving through your spine. Head is last. Reach your arms straight up overhead. Bend your elbows. Find a big back bend. Elbows pull down. Chest lifts up to the ceiling. Inhale, stand all the way up. And then release your arms. From here, bend your right knee. Catch your right foot on the inside, reach your left arm up. Now, option to stay right there or option to kick your right foot into your hand. This is called a traditional dancer's pose. It's a bit of a back bend, but more than anything, it's a chest opener. Kick your right foot into your hand and feel that opening into your pec, into your chest, also, of course, into the shoulder. It's a little bit challenging as a balance posture as well. So notice what's going on with your bottom left foot, maybe finding some wobbles. Give it one more breath. Release your right foot down. And then we switch. Bend your left elbow, bend your left knee. Catch the instep of your left foot. Zipper your knees together for just a moment. You could stay there or you could keep going by kicking your foot into your hand and moving yourself forward into a dancer pose. Actively kick the foot into the hand. Feel that openness into the chest on the left side and take nice big breaths into that space. Challenging the balance, challenging the flexibility of the back. And then slowly release the left foot back down. From here, bend your knees, come all the way down. Forward fold. Inhale for a flat spine, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Bring your hands down, step your knees back. And come all the way down onto your belly. Bend your knees. Catch the outsides of your feet for a bow pose. So you could catch your feet or your ankles. Kick your feet into your hands to lift your chest. So it's kind of like our dancer pose, but now we're on the ground and we're doing two sides at once. Pulling the shoulders together on your back, opening through the front of your heart. Kicking your ankles or your feet into your hands to allow a little more opening into the chest. Give it one more breath. Slowly release, come all the way down onto your belly. Take a moment. From here, bend your right elbow, extend your left arm, and then bend your right knee and bring your right foot over to the left. So it's a bit of a twist. And this is a nice chest opener too, all along the left side. Maybe even try to reach your left fingertips further away from your body. And then slowly release and we'll swap. So extend your right arm, bend your left elbow, bend your left knee, and place the left toes so they come right back behind you, a little kickstand behind your body. Feel that opening into the front of your right heart space. Try to reach your right fingertips a little further away from your body. And then slowly, slowly bring yourself back onto your belly. And then from here, roll onto your back. Flip on over, bend your knees, bring your feet so they're about hips width distance. Push yourself up to a bridge pose. Option to stay or option to interlace your fingers. Punch your fist down to the mat. This is a nice little heart expander. We've done a lot of heart expanding today, so you can always skip this one. But this may be one last nice little posture that you could take. Push your feet into the mat. Feel this activation into your glutes, maybe the opening into your chest. Take a few more big breaths here. And then if you've got the bind with the arms, release and gently lower your hips down to the mat. You could bring your feet a little bit wider and start to windshield wiper your knees from side to side. Or you could just knock your knees together. That can be a nice release for your lower back. And just feel free to find some easy movement here. Windshield wipe from side to side with your knees just a couple more times. And then And bring your knees back to center and extend your legs so they come long and heavy in front of you. Bring your arms to your side. Allow your eyes to close and take these final moments to come back to your breath and notice if anything has changed in your breath, has changed in your body, or has changed in your mind. Just a last final moment of diagnostic, and also a moment to thank yourself for carving out this time for your health and well-being. Thank you for joining us today. And that's your flow.